So what's up guys, welcome to another video. Today we are going to create a fully functional HTML form. So what I mean by fully functional is, as you can see that that's a form, and whenever we will submit it, we will have the submitted form in our email inbox. So let's actually try it. So here let's say that hello bro, and the last name is the bro, and the mail is the bro@bro.com, and the message is bro. Okay, and that's our form, and let's actually submit it. And here, as you can see that that's our message, thanks. And now if I come to my mailbox here, as you can see that that's the mailbox, and we have the full submission from our this HTML form. So that's what we are going to do. So you will get the submitted form directly in your mailbox, so without any kind of backend actually. So that's what we are going to make in this video. Hope you will like it. So no more talk, let's dive into it. So we are in the day 19 of 30 days 30 submits, and for the day 19 we are going to create a full functional HTML form. And if you're interested to check out this repo, I will link it in the description, where you can find all the interesting submits that I did in this 30 days 30 submits challenge. So if you're interested, please check out this repo, I'll link it in the description. So let's come here in our HTML code. First of all, let's get a boilerplate. So here in the body I will have a section, and in the section I will have a div with a class of container. So container, and after that I will have my form. So for now I will not have the action, but I will do it later. So in the form I will have some form group. So let's create the first form group. So let's create a div with a class of form group. So group here, and in this form group I will have the label for the first input. So the label, and this is for the first name, so first name, and here let's actually say that first name. So first name, that's the label, and let's get the actual input. So that's the type text, and also let's say that the ID will be first name. So, and also let's have the name of this input. So the name will be also the similar, so first name. So this is the first form group. So let's create more. So div with the class of form group, and in here let's actually have the next level. So this level will be for the last name, so last name, and the name will be actually the last name. And actually let's create the input here. So input, and this is for the text, and actually ID will be the last name, and also this is the name will be last name. So this name will be displayed when you will get the submitted form in your mail or the backend. So after that let's actually create some more. So div with a class of, actually let's create another form group. So form group. So here this one will be for our email. So the label will be email, so email, and for the label actual we will use email, and input, and the input type will be the email, and also let's have an ID. So the ID will be email, and the name will be email. So after that the last input will be our message. So let's create another div with the class of form group. Here I will have a label which will be the message. So this one message and message, and also let's have an input here which will be a type of text, that's okay. And after that ID will be the message, and also name will be the message. So that's it. So after that let's actually have the submit button. So I will have a button with that type of submit, and here I'll just say that submit. So that's it. If I save and refresh here, I can see my all the input here. So actually, instead of this input in our message, I can use text area. So let's actually use text area. So text area, and the name of the text area will be message, and the ID will be also message, and that's fine for now. And if I save, as you can see that that's the text area. So let's actually style this form here. So let's link our style sheet. So here, sorry, link. So in our CSS, first of all, let's say that the padding and the margin for the universal selector will be 0. So margin will be 0, and also say that box sizing will be the border box, and we will not have any kind of extra gap anymore. So after that, let's come to the body, and let's say that font family, I will use font family will be the Montserrat. So Montserrat. So I already installed this font in my PC, so that's why I don't need to import it. So after that, let's come to the section here, and let's say that the height will be 100 VH and the width will be 100%. So width 100%, and also let's have a background color. So background color will be the Alice blue. So Alice blue, and as you can see that the background is changed. And also let's say that the display will be flex, and align items center and align item center. So items here. And also let's say that justify content will be center. So now as you can see that everything is now in center. So after that, let's actually come to the container. So container, and here let's say that the width will be 90%, and also let's say that max width will be 500 pixel, and also margin 0 auto. So margin 0 auto. So if I save, and it will be always center this container. And after that, let's actually have some padding here. So padding will be 20 pixel, and also let's have a box shadow. So box shadow, and this will be 0 pixel for the Y, also 20 pixel spread, and also we will have something like a black color with something 10% opacity. Then you can see that that's the container, and it is in the center. And also let's change the background color. So background color, background color will be white. So it's looking good. And also let's say that border radius. So border radius will be about 8 pixel, and that's it. I don't need anything else. So let's have a margin bottom. So margin bottom will be 20 pixel for now. So looking good. And actually let's style the actual form here. So after that, let's come here in the form group. So from group, and here let's say that width will be 100%, and also let's say that margin top. So margin top will be about 20 pixel. So as you can see that we have now this space here. So that's the margin top. And after that, let's actually say that font size will be about 20 pixel. So let's actually grab those inputs. So those are in the from groups, and we can say something like all the input, and I wanna also grab the text area. So text area, and here I can say that width will be not windows, so width will be 100%. And after that, let's also have some padding here. So padding will be about 10 pixel, and font size will be 18 pixel. Actually let's say that the padding will be about 5 pixel. Yeah, that's looking much better. And also after that, let's actually change the border here. So border will be 1 pixel solid, and I will have a grayish color. So let me copy the color, So now as you can see, the border is something like grayish color. So after that, let's actually have a margin top here. So margin top, and we will have 5 pixels. So that's the space between the input and the level. So now let's come to the text area. So text area here, and let's say that I wanna change the resize. So you can see that by default we have a resize option here, so we can resize this text area as you can see here. So if you can notice that we can resize it in the both way, means I can resize it in the vertical and also the horizontal as you can see, but I don't want the horizontal resize, I only want the vertical resize. So let's limit the horizontal one. So here let's say that the resize will be only for the vertical. So if I save, now you can see that I can't change it in horizontally, I can only change it in the vertical as you can see. So perfect. So after that, let's come to the button here, and we can also specify it with the type. So type will be submit. So submit, and here let's say that the width will be 100%, and also the border will be none, and also outline will be none. So outline will be none, and also let's say that I will have padding here. So padding will be about 20 pixel. Okay, after that let's actually increase the font size. So font size will be 24 pixel, and also border radius. So border radius will be 8 pixel. Yeah, and also let's say that the font family will be Montserrat. And here let's actually change the color for the font. So let's copy this color and paste it here. So now you can see that the color is changed, and also let's say that text align will be in the center, and the cursor will be pointer, and also we will have a margin top here. So margin top 10 pixel. So that's looking perfect as you can see here. And also let's actually change the background color on hover. So let's copy this selection and paste it here and say that hover. So on hover we will change the background color. So background color will be, so let me copy the color, it will be slightly lighter color. So if I save, now you can see that we have this bluish color, and also let's have a transition. So transition will be 0.3 second, and is and for only background color. And now you can see that we have this nice transition going on here. So after that let's actually style our status bar here. So let's create a status bar. So after the container here, let's actually create another div with a class of status, actually with the ID of a status instead of this class, because we will actually grab it in the JavaScript. So that's why it will be good if we use ID instead of class. So that's the ID, and inside of this let's also say a success message. So success, and as you can see that that's the success message. And what we can do now in our container, I can say something like flex direction, not container, sorry, in the section, the flex direction will be the column. So now you can see that this is our status bar, and actually let's style it. So this status bar can have two kind of style. First one is for the success style, and second one will have for the error style. So let's actually style both of those. So actually come here in the status, and let's have some basic style first of all. So the width will be 90%, and the max width will be 500 pixel, and also text align center. And here let's actually have some padding here. So padding, let's say that 10 pixel, and also margin 0 auto. So margin 0 auto, and also let's have a border radius here. So border radius 8 pixel, and the background and the color will be applied on the status class. So let's say that for now we will have a class of success. So we will change this class dynamically by the JavaScript. Whenever we will successfully submitted this form, we will add success class, otherwise we will add error class. So based on this class we will actually style this status bar. So let's actually create the success style. So status, and if it have any kind of success class, so sorry here, and I can say that the background color, so background color will be, so let me copy the color. So we will use a green background color here. So let's use this. So it's not working, so let me check. So we need to actually save the HTML file. So as you can see that it's working now. And that's it for our actually the success style. So let's actually add the error style. So whenever we will have an error class here, so error, we will also change the background color. So the background color will be a red color. So let's actually change the class from the success to error. So error, and save. As you can see that that's the color, so that's the style as you can see for our error. So actually let's change the color here also. So the color will be white. So looking good for now. And these text, as you can see that the success, so it's just a placeholder. We will actually change the inner text of this div by our JavaScript. So we don't need to worry about the success or the error text. So this will be generated by our JavaScript dynamically. So actually let's have a animation here. So let's say that the keyframe, so the keyframes will be a status, and here I can say something like on 0%, the opacity will be 1, and also say that the pointer events, so pointer events will be all, and actually we will remain it till the 90% of our animation, and in 100% we will change the opacity from 1 to 0 and the pointer event all to the none. So with this animation, what we will do actually, we will hide this status bar. So let's say that whenever we will call this success or this arrow, I will also have the animation here. So animation, the name of the animation is the status, and the duration of the animation will be the 4 seconds, and the timing function will be is, and we don't want any kind of delay and other things. Actually let's have the forwards here. So this will be the animation. So let's also copy this and apply it in the arrow. So it's not working because we have an arrow here, so we don't need any kind of delay. So it should work now. So after 4 seconds, as you can see that it's now hidden. So that's the animation that we added here. So after that, let's come to the functionality for our HTML form. So whenever we will submit, we wanna have the submitted form in our email address. So how we can have this submitted form in our email address? So there is no way. So you need to have the backend for it. but there is something third party service that you can use to have it in your static site. So let's actually come to the website, and the name of the website is the form spray, as you can see. And here you can see that use your own HTML, JavaScript, CSS, submit to our API, and we will handle the rest. So as you can see that we actually need the backend, but if we use form spray, we don't need to worry about the backend. It will handle the rest of the thing. We just need to make the submit to their API. So that's what we need to do. We need to submit this form into their API, and what they will do, they will send us the submitted form in our email address. So actually if I come here to the price, so they have, I think, they have three different plans, as you can see. So free, gold, and platinum. So I will use free. So as you can see that you will have unlimited forms, and you can have only 50 submission in the 30 days. So that's you will have, and if you want more submission, you can actually purchase the gold or platinum. So let's actually have the free. And here in our form spray, let's actually log in or sign up. So I will use a temporary mail here. So let's actually grab this mail here and create an account. So paste it here, and for the password I will use some random password. So once you are in your account, you can come and click this account, and here you can see that linked email address. So we have now only email address that we are already registered with. So let's actually verify it to use this. So if I come here and my temporary mail, here as you can see that we have this verify mail. So if I verify it, I'm not a robot. And that's good. So now we just successfully verified the email address. As you can see, it's now green. Email is verified, and now we can use this email for our form. So in our form, as you can see that you can create a new form. So let's actually name it test and create form, and you can see that send email address, which is the by default one, and that's the email address where our form will be, or our submitted form will be sent. Okay, so as you can see here we have a form endpoint, so that's the API endpoint, as you can see. And now what I need, actually we need to have this endpoint in the action. So let's copy this endpoint, and in our form, as you can see that that's our form, and in the action we just need to paste it. So that's the action, and I just paste my endpoint for the form. After that what we need, actually I need to specify the method for the endpoint. So let's say that method will be post. So that's the method and that's the action. So that's what we need, actually we don't need anything else. So if I save and come to my form, and actually let's remove it, those classes, and save it here. So that's my form, and let's actually submit my form. And if I submit, and you can see that invalid email address, actually let's have a valid email address here. So if I submit it, and here as you can see that we are redirected to this form spray page. As you can see that say that thanks, the form is submitted successfully, return to original site. So as you can see that when you will submit your form, they will redirect you into the form spray thank you page, as you can see. So you can also go back to your original site, which is this one. So if I come to my mail here, and here as you can see that we have a new submission. So if I come here, as you can see that that's the submission. We have hello hello, that's the mail, and that's the message that we have. So now you can see we have our submission from this submitted form, and it is directly come to our email address. So everything is working fine, but I just don't want the redirection. Means whenever I will submit the form, as you can see that they will redirect me into the thank you page of the form spray. So that's not something we want. We don't want that. So if you don't want that, what you can do actually, you can use your JavaScript for that. So what you can do actually, you can prevent the default behavior for your submission. So for that, in our form spray, you can see that we already have some code here. So in JavaScript, you can see that that's the in the Ajax, you can copy all these JavaScript code after the script tag, and before the closing script tag, just copy it and paste it in your main.js. So what they are actually doing here, as you can see that whenever the DOM content will be loaded, and here you can see that we are grabbing the form, and the form will have a my form ID, and you can have any kind of ID. So let's actually have the my form ID here. So in the form, let's actually have also an ID so that we can grab it in the JavaScript. So let's have the my form. So you can have anything, so make sure that this is the same thing that you have here. So after that, let's actually have the button. If you want, you can have the button, but I don't want to have any style in the button, so I don't need it. So I just make it comment, so I don't need it. And for the status bar, as you can see that I already have a ID, I believe here. Yeah, that's the status ID. So let's actually change this and make it a status, because that's what we have in our status bar ID. So if I save, so here after that, as you can see that we have two more functions, success and error. So on success, what we will do, we will reset the form, and what we will do after that, we will give a style to the form button. So we don't want to have any style in the submit button, so let's actually remove it. And here, as you can see that in the status inner HTML, we will dynamically put this text, which is the thanks. When we will submit our form successfully, we will generate these status inner HTML dynamically. So this will be the thanks, and whenever we will have an error message, we will actually generate the text, which is the oops, there was a problem. And after that, as you can see that that's our main event listener, where you can see that whenever we will submit the form, we will prevent the default behavior, which is redirecting us to the another page or form spray page. We don't want that. So that's why we just prevent the default behavior. After that, what we did here, actually we did a Ajax call to our API, and whenever our Ajax call will be successful, means we will successfully submitted the form, so they will call the success function, otherwise they will call the error function. Okay, so that's what they are doing in this JavaScript code. And if I save and come to my form, so that's the form. Actually let's apply, so actually let's jump, so actually let's submit it another. So now let's submit it one more time. So let's say that hello, and if I submit it, so as you can see that we are redirected, but that's not what we are expecting, because we did a mistake here. We did not add the JavaScript file, so sorry for that. So if I come here and submit it once again and submit it, and as you can see that that's our thanks, because it is a successful submit. So if I check, and here as you can see that that's our submission. We have 3 submission, and that's the latest one. So if I open it, and as you can see that that's the latest submission in our email address, then you can see that we don't have the redirection anymore, and we have a thank you message. So that's working fine. So now what we can do actually here in our success, we can also add the class in the status bar. So in our success, let's say that the status dot class list dot add. So in the success, I will add a success class. So success, and whenever we will have an error, we will add the error class. So this will apply the style for our success or the error bar here, as you can see. So let's change it to the error, and if I save, and let's actually submit it one more time, and here let's say that submit it, and if we submit it successfully, we have the success style, as you can see, and it is hidden, as you can see that, because we did the animation here for the 4 seconds. So after the 4 seconds it will be dynamically hidden. So you can see in our mail we have all the submission. So that's the latest submission, which is the last name success. So looking good. And let's actually test the error one. So if I change the endpoint and make it some change here, so this will be an error because we don't have the perfect endpoint for our form action. So if I submit, so as you can see that oops, there was a problem. So that's the style and that's the text, as you can see, that we have in our this form status bar dynamically by our JavaScript. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe the channel. And my name is Arfan and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, Khuda Hafiz.